Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, I want to begin by welcoming you here this afternoon on behalf of Christopher and Lucie. Before proceeding with the ceremony, it is my duty to tell you that this place in which we are now met has been duly sanctioned according to law for the celebration of marriages. The ceremony will be in accordance with the civil law of this country, which requires both the bride and the groom to declare their freedom to marry before they make their marriage vows and promise to take each other as partners for life. You are here as guests to witness the joining in marriage of Christopher Alexander Simpson and Lucie Elizabeth Capel. Is that right? Capel. That's
quite well spent.
I'm sure it means a great deal to them that you can be here today and share their happiness. It will be a memorable day for you both, and Alan and I feel very privileged and excited to be part of it. If any person here present knows of any legal impediment to the marriage, then it must be declared now. Okay, you've got away with it. They're not behind you. So if you'd like to be seated, and you'd like to be seated, and if you'd like to be seated, we have a little bit of a treat for everyone. We have some photographs to share of memories special to Christopher and Lucie.
Well, maybe you know why. Your daughter and I have been dating for some time now. You've always been real nice to me. I look at your family pictures and realize that I want the same thing too. I almost feel like I could call you mama and daddy. Really, that's what I'm here to talk about. Mama, don't you worry about your daughter, 'cause you're leaving her in real good hands. I'm a real good man. Now the picture of this man is slowly coming into view. Papa, don't you fret and don't forget that one day you was in my shoes. Somehow you paid your dues. Now you're the picture of the man that I someday wanna be. I know it's hard watching the changes, but I wanna make your daughter my wife. Mama, don't you worry about your daughter, 'cause you're leaving her in real good hands. I'm a real good man. Now the picture of this love is slowly coming into view. forget that one day you was in my shoes. Somehow you paid your dues. Now you're the picture of the man that I someday wanna be. I know it's hard watching the changes in our lives, but I wanna make your daughter my wife. Oh, mama, don't you worry about your daughter, 'cause you're leaving her in real good hands. I'm a real good man. Now the picture of this love is surely coming into view. Don't forget that one day you was in my shoes. Somehow you paid your dues. Now you're the picture of the man that I someday wanna be. And the picture of this man is surely coming into view. And the picture of my wife is slowly coming into view. And the picture of his love is surely coming into view. Yeah, the picture of his love is surely coming into view. And I'm so not sure that's exactly what I wanna do. Picture of his love is surely coming into view. And more.
Thank you. And so, who gives Lucie's hand in marriage?
I do.
Could we persuade you to take her book?
You can indeed.
Thank you. Christopher and Lucie, we now come to the nature and the meaning of the marriage ceremony in which you are about to take part. It is quite a short and simple ceremony, usually. But complications apart, this in no way lessens its validity and legal commitment to you both, or its great importance and significance to you personally. Before you are joined in marriage, it is my duty to remind you both of the solemn and binding character of the vows that you are about to make. Marriage, according to the law of this country, is the union of one man and one woman voluntarily entered into for life to the exclusion of all others. Today you will exchange vows which will unite you as husband and wife. These words are a formal and public pledge of your love and a promise of lifelong dedication to each other. And so now look at each other and remember this moment in time. Before this moment, you will have been many things to one another. Now you will say a few words that will take you across the threshold of life, and things will never be quite the same between you again. For after these vows, you shall say to the world, "This is my husband, this is my wife." Now, I understand there have been a few dilemmas about marrying or not marrying, so if you'd like to be seated, Simon, your great moment has arrived.
The piece chosen by a happy couple, Notes on Marriage by Charles Darwin. Not married. Freedom to go where one liked. Choice of society and little of it. Conversation of clever men at clubs. Not forced to visit relatives and to bend in every trifle, to have the expense and anxiety of children, perhaps quarrelling, loss of time, cannot read in the evenings, fatness and idleness, anxiety and responsibility. Less money for books. If many children forced to gain one's bread, then it is very bad for one's health to have to work too much. Perhaps my wife won't like London. Then the sentence is banishment and degradation with indolent, idle fool. Marry. Children, constant companion who will feel interested in one, a friend in old age, object to be beloved and played. Better than a dog, anyhow. Home and someone to take care of house. Charms of music and female chit-chat. These things, good for one's health, but terrible loss of time. My dear, it is unthinkable to think of spending one's whole life like a neuter bee, working, and then nothing after all. No, won't do. Imagine living all one's life, solitary, in smoky, dirty London house. Only picture to yourself a nice, soft wife on a sofa with good fire and books and music perhaps. Compare this vision with dingy reality. Marry.
If I could ask you to return to the stage. So now I'm going to ask you both to declare that you know of no legal reason why you may not be married to one another before you go on to make your marriage vows. And it's traditional for us to begin with the groom. So, Christopher, can I ask you to repeat after me? I do solemnly declare that I know not of any lawful impediment why I, Christopher Alexander Simpson, may not be joined in matrimony to Lucie Elizabeth Capel. Thank you. And Lucie, your turn. I do solemnly declare that I know not of any lawful impediment why I, Lucie Elizabeth Capel, may not be joined in matrimony to Christopher Alexander Simpson. Thank you. We've now reached the part of the ceremony when Christopher and Lucie will make their marriage contract before you as their witnesses and guests. And these words are best spoken to each other as it's a contract with each other, so if you'd like to face each other. And you are allowed to hold hands. I know you're not married yet, but if you wish.